Right now at 5:30, we're tracking the investigation into an officer-involved shooting in Georgetown. The suspect who was shot was taken to UK hospital.
Also on WKYT this morning, Lexington police are still looking for anyone involved in a shooting that triggered a campus-wide alert over the weekend. Both victims are still recovering this morning.
Key parts of the Patriot Act expired overnight. Coming up, we'll tell you about the hours-long debate in the U.S. Senate over the controversial act.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you, and we're glad you're with us here on the 1st of June as we get a new week and a new month underway. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. I just shared a photo on my Facebook page of Raven Run, which I had no idea even existed.
Yeah, did you get out there?
I did.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. So
yeah.
Really enjoyed that. I was glad the weather held out.
Yeah, something to see, and hopefully everybody had some nice experiences over the weekend. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris as we get this work week off and rolling.
Yeah, those parks are always fun to get out into, get on the trails. Perfect conditions this past weekend, except for the southeast. We were hammered with thunderstorms pretty much all weekend long. They were on and off. And you know what? Today, most of us will start to see some rain. As First Alert Defender Live Radar, let me put this into action, show you where this stuff is headed. It's going north and northeast, so I-75 and westbound. That is your best bet of actually picking up on some rain this morning. Eastern zones, hold tight. It's going to be moving in your neck of the woods here in the next several hours. And down in the southeast, you guys have the best shot at some thunderstorms. The rest of us mainly just showers to deal with. Temperatures are in the 50s. We're not going to rise that much. I mean, we actually reach out to about 65 degrees later on this afternoon. Southeast, that's where we are, 70 to 75 degrees. So it kind of depends on where you are, but most of us will stay in the 60s. That shower chance there in the forecast moves through and kind of fades away as we work our way through the afternoon and off into the evening. But then we get more rain in the forecast. And I'll show you when we actually get at least a mainly dry day coming up.
Okay, thank you. Let's get everybody up to the minute on news.
Right now, we're tracking a story out of Scott County this morning. State troopers tell us an officer shot and injured a suspect in Georgetown.
It happened around 10 last night along a creek near the intersection of Lemons Mill Road and Newtown Pike. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is live at UK Hospital where the suspect was taken. Hillary, what led officers to that creek?
Good morning, Bill and Rebecca. Well, the Scott County Sheriff's Office received a tip that the suspect was actually camping out on the bank of the North Elkhorn Creek near the Lemons Mill and Newtown Pike intersection in Georgetown. Kentucky State Police, Scott County Sheriff's Office, and Georgetown Police were working to serve a warrant on the 33-year-old Georgetown man who is believed to be a burglary suspect. When they got to his campsite along North Elkhorn Creek, police say he showed a handgun, and when told to drop it, he instead raised the gun towards officers. And that is when they shot the 33-year-old. He was brought to University of Kentucky Hospital while police investigate the shooting. Investigators say there was a woman with the suspect at the time, but no charges have been filed against her, while charges against the man shot by police are pending.
The incident stretches across both sides of the creek and the middle of the creek, so it's just going to take a little bit of time to investigate that.
Now, troopers tell us the man brought here to UK Hospital has been listed in critical condition but is stable. His name is not being released at this time. No officers were injured in this shooting. Live in Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
All right, Hillary, thank you. Lexington police are still looking for suspects involved in a shooting that triggered a campus-wide alert this weekend. Around 2 o'clock Sunday morning, the university sent out a text alert saying there had been shots fired at the Red Mile Village apartments. When police arrived, they tell us they found about 200 people in the area for a party. They say none of the people there knew about the shooting. But shortly afterward, police tell us that two men who had each been shot in the leg showed up at UK Hospital. A student who lives in the complex says she was surprised to hear the shots.
We have some parties going on here, just not like really big ones. It was kind of discerning to hear some gunshots.
Police tell us both men who were shot are expected to eventually be okay.
Later today, a Montgomery County teen accused of threatening to kill people through a Facebook post is set to face a judge. 18-year-old Austin Russell is charged with solicitation of murder and robbery. Detectives say he threatened to rob a bank and kill the people inside. Police say he posted about robbing the traditional bank in Mount Sterling on his Facebook page. They say he even asked if any of his friends wanted to join him. He could face several years in prison if he's ever found guilty of the crime.
Midnight marked the deadline for keeping certain parts of the Patriot Act alive in the U.S. Senate. But after hours of debate, key parts of the act have expired.
This after Senate Republicans could not come to an agreement. Both Kentucky senators are at the center of the debate. WKYT's Mark Barber is at our live desk with a look at what happened. Mark, did the whole thing expire at midnight?
Good morning, Rebecca. Only key parts of the Patriot Act expired, including the program that allows the National Security Administration to collect phone records from millions of Americans. Now, we've learned that that surveillance program is now offline after Senate Republicans did not come to an agreement to extend the Patriot Act. Supporters of the program say that the government is keeping our country safe by using it as a tool to stop terrorists. However, opponents point to several review boards which have shown that the program has not stopped a single terror plot. Kentucky's Mitch McConnell and Rand Paul are coming down on very different sides of the debate.
I think the majority of the American people actually do believe the government's gone too far.
We shouldn't be disarming unilaterally as our enemies grow more sophisticated and aggressive.
The Senate will now try to work through several amendments designed to reform part of that surveillance program. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, Mark, thank you. And that, of course, is expected to happen during this week. Well, the state of Texas is set to get a much-needed break this week after rounds of deadly storms. A long period of sunshine will settle in this week, which will allow swollen rivers to recede. At least 31 people have died in storms that started in Texas and Oklahoma over Memorial Day weekend. 10 people were still missing in the state over the weekend.
Well, the U.S. Defense Secretary says he'll, quote, hold accountable whoever was responsible for shipping anthrax across the country. Last week, a laboratory in Utah accidentally sent live anthrax spores to 24 other laboratories and included several U.S. states in the lab in Australia and South Korea. Ash Carter says the Pentagon will make sure no one falls ill from the samples. Officials claim the samples were irradiated, but the process did not kill the spores like it was supposed to. Well, Face the Nation host Bob Schieffer said goodbye to millions of viewers Sunday morning for the last time. The veteran CBS newsman moderated his final show Sunday before retiring. Craig Boswell has more from Washington.
Today is my last broadcast on Face the Nation.
CBS News chief Washington correspondent Bob Schieffer anchored his final Face the Nation broadcast Sunday after 24 years, capping a nearly 6-decade career in journalism.
I thought back to when I was in the 9th grade and saw my byline in the school newspaper and decided right then I wanted to be a reporter.
Schieffer announced his retirement in April at his alma mater, Texas Christian University. He began to make his name as a reporter at the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, covering President Kennedy's assassination and the Vietnam War. He joined CBS News in 1969.
When I was a young reporter, I wanted to work for CBS because Walter Cronkite was my hero.
Schieffer is respected by newsmakers on both sides of the aisle for his fairness and no-nonsense style.
I tried to remember that the news is not about the newscaster, it's about the people who make it and those who are affected by it.
The 78-year-old says he'll probably still watch his old show on Sunday mornings.
I'll be honest, I'm going to miss being in the middle of things, but the one thing I will never forget is the trust you placed in me and how nice you were to have me as a guest in your home over so many years. That meant the world to me. And that's it for us today as I say goodbye for this last time as moderator of Face the Nation.
Craig Boswell, CBS News, Washington.
A nice little send-off for Mr. Schieffer. Well, CBS News political director John Dickerson will be taking over as moderator now on Face the Nation. This is happening next Sunday.
Over at NBC, the nightly news anchor Brian Williams might be returning to television soon. Sources tell CNN that executives at NBC are trying to find a way to keep him employed with the network. It's still too soon to say if he will be back as anchor of nightly news. Williams was suspended back in February when executives started investigating alleged storytelling exaggerations. The time this morning is 5:39 on WKYT, and it's time to check live drive traffic and see what's going on out there.
Let's look at the Waze app. This is a new little addition we're trying out to show you some of the issues there on Interstate 75 in Lexington. Looking okay. We do have a few issues. I don't know what those triangles mean. Do you know, Bill?
Stalled out vehicles, I think. So a little,
Okay.
just slight delays
I've
there.
used Waze before.
Yeah.
It is a great app. Those will be on the shoulder of the interstate headed northbound towards Georgetown.
Yeah, so that's the only thing we have this morning out there that's of any major problem. And so you're pretty good to go here on this Monday morning. Let's make it a safe trip in.
Yes, definitely. Apologize to Danielle.
Triangles mean a little trouble.
I think Danielle actually wrote that in, so
Okay.
my bad.
Going to check traffic this morning and see what is the latest news for you this morning, see what's going on as we continue at 5:40 now.
An Ohio woman had an unusual sentence handed down to her. Find out why she'll be doing her time by walking 30 miles. That's coming up in just 5 minutes.
And we're taking a look outside, still seeing those scattered showers out and about. It's a pretty rainy start for some, not all. Look back toward the east, but you guys will have it coming in the next several hours. I'll show you a pretty rainy forecast coming up.